In the late 18th century, the quiet village of Mauvilly, nestled in the dense forests of Burgundy, France, was a peaceful community. Surrounded by vast woodlands and rolling hills, the villagers lived simple lives, relying on farming, hunting, and livestock to survive. But their tranquil existence was shattered when a pack of wolves began to terrorize the area. Unlike the occasional wolf sighting that was part of rural life, this pack exhibited an alarming boldness. They ventured closer to the village, attacking livestock and, eventually, humans. Fear spread quickly through Mauvilly, as the wolves seemed to be growing more aggressive and daring with each passing day.
The terror began one cold winter evening when a young shepherd boy failed to return home with his flock. A search party discovered the horrifying aftermath: the boy's body, torn and partially devoured, surrounded by wolf tracks. The villagers were horrified, and their fears were soon confirmed as more attacks followed. Over the next few weeks, the wolves struck repeatedly, targeting both livestock and villagers who ventured too close to the forest. The beasts seemed to operate with a chilling cunning, striking swiftly and retreating into the shadows. The people of Mauvilly were paralyzed with fear, knowing that at any moment they or their loved ones could fall victim to the wolves.
What set the wolves of Mauvilly apart was their ferocity and boldness. These were not ordinary wolves hunting out of desperation or hunger. They attacked in broad daylight, even venturing into the outskirts of the village. Witnesses described the wolves as unusually large and relentless, with eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. Their howls echoed through the village at night, a haunting reminder of their presence. Legends began to spread, with some villagers believing the wolves were possessed by evil spirits, or that they were a punishment for the community's sins. The line between reality and superstition blurred as the attacks continued and Mauvilly's residents grew more desperate.
The villagers knew they couldn't endure the wolves' reign of terror much longer. The local lord, alarmed by the escalating attacks, summoned experienced hunters from nearby regions. Armed with muskets, spears, and traps, the hunters set out to track the wolves through the dense forests surrounding Mauvilly. The hunts were grueling and dangerous. The wolves seemed to anticipate the hunters' moves, using the terrain to their advantage and evading capture time and again. Despite their determination, the hunters were met with limited success, and the villagers' hope began to wane. Every night brought new howls, new losses, and a growing sense of helplessness.
After weeks of relentless pursuit, the hunters finally cornered the wolves in a remote part of the forest. The confrontation was brutal, with both sides fighting desperately for survival. The wolves, driven into a frenzy, launched a fierce counterattack, but the hunters were determined to put an end to their reign of terror. The largest wolf, believed to be the alpha, was particularly formidable, requiring multiple strikes to bring down. After a grueling battle, the hunters emerged victorious, having killed or driven off the remaining wolves. The villagers of Mauvilly breathed a collective sigh of relief, though the scars of the ordeal would remain for years to come.
With the wolves defeated, Mauvilly slowly began to recover. The villagers returned to their fields and forests, but the memory of the attacks lingered. The forests, once a source of livelihood and beauty, became a place of caution and respect. The story of the wolves of Mauvilly was passed down through generations, becoming a local legend. For some, The tale was a reminder of nature's unpredictable power. For others, it was a cautionary story about the consequences of ignoring the balance between humans and the wild. The wolves had left their mark on Mauvilly, both literally and figuratively, forever changing the community's relationship with the forest.
Even today, the story of the wolves of Mauvilly raises questions. Why did this pack of wolves behave so aggressively? Some historians and naturalists speculate that the wolves might have been driven to desperation by harsh winters or a lack of natural prey. Others suggest the possibility of disease, such as rabies, which can cause animals to become unusually aggressive and fearless. Still, local folklore adds a layer of mysticism to the tale, with some believing the wolves were cursed or guided by supernatural forces. The true nature of the wolves of Mauvilly may never be fully understood, but their story remains one of the most chilling chapters in France's history.
The wolves of Mauvilly serve as both a historical account and a cautionary tale. They remind us of the fragile balance between humanity and the natural world, and of the fear that can arise when that balance is disrupted. For the people of Mauvilly, the wolves were more than just predators. They were a symbol of the unknown and a test of their resilience. Today, the legend of the wolves of Mauvilly continues to capture the imagination, a haunting reminder of the dangers that once lurked in the forests of France.